Hello everyone, welcome back for the question and answer sessions. So now Professor Dr. Mohammed Bilal is available here and you all are welcome to ask questions one by one. So please.
Yes, thank you, Professor, for the wonderful presentation. I have few questions related with this, the synthesis process of these quantum dots. Like, how did you synthesize the quantum dots, and how did you choose this titanium oxide as one of the potential candidate for this? And how did you know, like, the decreasing factor of this band gap? Yeah, these are my questions.
Thank you for the nice question. In fact, we use citric acid liquid for the synthesis of quantum dots. You can follow the papers what cited in the presentation. We just heated for a few minutes at certain temperature, and that confirmed the synthesis by turning the color just by changing the color of the that solution. And afterwards, we use the same material as a dopant to the titanium. Second question was titania. Yeah, you can find all the properties of the titanium material. We use the TTP precursor material for the synthesis of the titanium dioxide nanoparticle at lab scale. In fact, we followed this whole gel synthesis method. I can share you the detailed synthesis method on the screen. But you can follow our papers. That is where you can find the complete elaboration of those synthesis sol gel method in the papers. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, please?
Can I ask a question, Nafis here?
Please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Professor. And I'm just curious about which you have shown into the slide number maybe 34. Can we go there?
Yeah.
Sorry, maybe 32. Yeah, that's thank you. I'm just curious about that why this is decreasing drastically after the 4 cycles. Why it's not so stable? Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
But we think material may lose its shape on the way. It may lose its stability on the way when we use and regenerate different structures.
Okay, so maybe we do have some characterizations before and after the cycles. Do we have?
No, we don't have after the cycle. Yes, but we don't have. But we should have the characterization of this material. Again, in Pakistan scenario, every sample you have to send to the central laboratories, like in your Peshawar or in some laboratories in Nast or somewhere else. So that's the reason we were facing the limitations.
Yeah, you are absolutely right.
Secondly, when you synthesize the material, principally you have to look the properties first before the applications. But we adopted here the approach. We prepared the materials through different dopants, through different ratios, through different loadings. And finally, we keep this. We did the screening against the application of all those 84 materials against the photocolorization capability. And then on backward, we characterize the best materials to avoid the high cost and to minimize the burden on our resources. But in principle, you must have characterized the materials before the application. You look all the properties and then finally go the best material with the application. But we did the other way.
Yeah, your technique is really nice. I really appreciate this, Professor. Yeah, so Professor, I have a little impression on it. Maybe it's wrong, because that you are using the graphene quantum dots. So maybe these RO reactive oxygen species are also degrading this material. So that is why it's a very linear degradation, decrease in the efficiency of the material. Is it possible?
I don't think so. I don't think so, because all these materials were generating the reactive oxygen species. So I don't think so that those reactive species could harm the degradation capabilities of the materials who were generating the reactive oxygen species. But you may found, I'm not certain, but I think no.
Okay, thank you so much for your answer. Thank you so much.
Any other question from audience?
Yes, thank you, Professor Bilal, for your wonderful work and wonderful presentation. So I was just curious to manage to calculate the radical trapping experiment. Is there any particular technique or some theoretical calculation?
I will share you that article where we use the salts. This method is authenticated and it is reported in the literature. This is not something we did for the first time. I will send you that article. You may found all the details there.
Okay, and the next query is for the costing of your material. Like you showed, your best material is around 580 pkr. So is it like a pkr per gram or something like this?
This is this is pkr per gram, I think, but I will confirm you after checking with my student. Really, I am not sure. That was per kg. Normally, when we preparing the carbon materials in our lab, we were working on the preparation. We calculated the cost per kg of those materials, even for the biomass adsorbents, for the activated carbons. But I'm not sure that was calculated on the gram base or kilogram base. I may confirm you in our next meeting.
Okay, thank you. And the last thing is during these experiments, did you try going for the real waste water? You showed some pictures for the sampling. So did you try to check the activity of your material on the real wastewater?
No, for these materials we didn't check the because and practical side, what I foresee, such applications will be hindered because of the very complex characterization of the textile wastewater. Because that textile wastewater contains salts, because as salts are used as color fixing agents for shining the color fixation. So very complex composition due to metals, due to salts, due to multiple number of dyes in the wastewater. So I don't think so. We can apply these materials for real wastewater treatment. But certainly we must have checked, but we did not check. And
Okay.
right now, one of my student is working on the photo decolorization of the same dye. And I will present to you at some time. That is a really nice study, and your question is very related to that study. We used multiple salts as interfering ions, keeping the one contaminant that was RB5. And we found that salts were adding the adsorption capability of dye with the material, and afterwards we observe really high decolorization capability when there were multiple interfering ions were present. So we should look for if there are multiple types of dyes are present along with those salts, then what will happen with the target dye and the multiple dyes. But we checked the influence of the salts. That was very positive in terms of the reactive black 5 removal. However, we should look for the presence of multiple dyes at the lab scale first, and then we should go for the field scale. And the third limitation is when you go field scale decolorization and application of the nanomaterials, probably you will be looking for some dilution of those waters because they contain intense color. And so I think at first we should look for the multiple dyes, presence of multiple dyes, how they influence the target dye decolorization. And then we may look for the field scale application, but I don't think so. We have to devise certain larger materials with good surfaces for field scale application. But there will be problem of, for example, sunlight that don't penetrate in the water that contain intense color. And secondly, as we monitor the target dye decolorization through UV visible spectroscopy, but in field scale application, maybe we will be looking for the monitoring of the color through chemical oxygen demand parameter, that is robust parameter. So but individual dye, so because, for example, if the wastewater contains 5 types of dye at lab scale, so you have to monitor each peak every one sample 5 times for the because every dye is show lambda max at different wavelengths. So that will be hectic to do such things in the lab. However, for the experimental and understanding purpose, you can do that. But for field scale applications, you may go for the robust parameters for the color to monitor the color removal, like chemical oxygen demand.
Okay, I got it. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you so much for nice questions and nice answer from Dr. Mohammed Bilal. Professor, I have one question. Like, as per your experience of previous 10 to 15 years, you're working in the field. So basically, we all want to know that what is the real problem in Pakistan? Like, what is the gap between academia research and the practical scale applications? And in your opinion, like how new students, how can they conduct a research that could be that could maximum be benefited for the industrial applications? So this is basically a guideline for new students and also identifying the gap between the academic research and the industrial applications. So what's your opinion about that point? Thank you.
Look, this is a very obvious thing. First problem is there is a trust deficit between industry and the academia. Second thing is, so this behind this trust deficit, what industry it needs solutions that should be applicable at industrial level, and those solutions must be provided by the academia. And on the other hand, so one limitation is this. And the other hand, academia, it is in Pakistan scenario, it is facing a huge blow in research fundings. Okay, your government is not funding, your government is not supporting through finance to the academia. Okay, we are facing severe limitations in the, for example, we don't have characterization instruments that are really of advanced level at university. In your country, you have few universities which are equipped with the good instrumentation. However, they also face the limitation because there is long queues of the materials for the characterization. And the third and the fourth thing is government must push the industry to cooperate, to collaborate with the academia, and government must push the academia through Higher Education Commission to develop the real field-based problems, develop the solutions to those problems for the real application. So on both sides, this is a triangular thing: government, academia, and industry. So I may resume my discussion. First thing is trust deficit between industry and academia. Second is lack of funding behind the academia. And third thing is academia is also lacking to work on the real field-based problems what the industry is facing. So, and the fourth is the government is not pushing those two sectors like industry and academia to collaborate. And the final thing is a rule of law is not there. For example, in terms of Environmental Protection Agency, we have the rules, but we have the rules in the files, not for the implementation to the industry. So industry must be forced to abide the environmental laws. Then the industry will be looking with the for the collaboration, and government must force the industry to provide financial aid to the universities, so that universities and academia, they look for the development of the solutions of those problems that really industry is facing. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Professor Muhammad Bilal, for a nice presentation and addressing questions and providing us a guidance for research gaps and current scenario in Pakistan. Thank you so much, and I hope if audience have any questions, they can ask now. And if they don't have any question, then maybe we can stop this session today at here. And for next session, I request you all please join again us at 7 p.m. Japan time and 6 p.m. Chinese time. And next presenter will be the Mr. Muhammad Nasir, who is a PhD student in China. And he will be presenting about the conference proceeding that he is attending on in Wuhan, that is on CO2 conversion by renewable energy. And many international famous scholars will be presenting theirs. And he will provide us the brief summary and recent research trends and directions about CO2 conversion. So I hope you all will join us at next Saturday at 7 p.m. And thank you so much all, and see you again next weekend.